Not too long ago, I was asked if I have a favorite guitar. And I thought about it and I really couldn't answer that question because all of my guitars are really my special favorite. Every one. They're all different, but they're all unique and they're all my favorite. Welcome to David's Guitar Stories. I am trying something here that I haven't really done before in quite this way, and that is to put together a DVD that's a collection of stories that I tell about various guitars that I own. I started fixing guitars and collecting guitars really a pretty long time ago. I've been a guitar player since I was 11 years old. One of my first guitars, a little electric guitar, one day one of the pickups on it quit working, and I was just freaked. I was maybe 13 years old or something, and it was like the end of my life, the end of the world, because this one pickup wouldn't work on my electric guitar. So the massive crisis in the world was coming to an end, and I had my parents take me to a music store. We left the guitar for repair, came back to get it. They called us a week later or something, and it still didn't work. They hadn't fixed it, so we didn't have to pay. I took the guitar home, and I was messing around with it, and I just started playing with the switch, and I could hear some noise, and I played with it for a while, and pretty soon the pickup was working again. I know more now. Probably what was happening is there was some corrosion in there, and just working those contacts knocked the corrosion loose and restored the function. But the big lesson in that was I could fix stuff. And I started experimenting with that right away. Found junky broken guitars and would play around with them, repaint them, and do different things. And so over the years that developed into a pretty serious hobby and a pretty serious interest in restoring instruments that are messed up and finding out what their voice is. And so along the way, as I've done that, sometimes I just fix them and sell them. Sometimes they were so cool I just had to keep them, and then so they just start piling up in the house. And so there's a lot of guitars, but they have stories. And this is about telling the stories that are involved with each one of the guitars. And one of the first guitars that I told a story about is a guitar named Shelley. And I've got a segment in this DVD that's going to be all about Shelley and her story. And I told this little story, and interestingly, there was a woman named Shelley in the audience, and the story related to her life and really impacted her. And it was like, wow, now that's interesting. And so I began thinking about all the different guitars, and I didn't just make up some kind of story. I really thought about the circumstances surrounding the repair or finding the guitar, being given the guitar or whatever. And so these are real stories, and they're like life lessons that the guitars have taught me as I developed an interest in just being a restorer of broken things. So the first one I want to introduce to you, this is Huckleberry. Huckleberry is named after a book character, a book by Mark Twain, an American author. The book is called The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It's the story of two young boys who run away from home and they travel down the river on a raft. And Huckleberry, for those of you who are into guitars, this is a Guild guitar. You can see the name up here. It's a D25. That's the model number. And I bought it from a guy who advertised it on Craigslist, and it was $75. And there's a reason it's $75. There's a hole in the side of it right here. And I found out that the story was he used this guitar as his camping guitar, and he said he had taken it down the Colorado River rafting. And I thought, dude, next time use a boat. Now, he didn't actually use it as a boat, but that's my first dad joke. You have to get used to those. But so Huckleberry Finn, because he was went rafting down the Colorado River. And I got the guitar and I put new strings on. I got it at home, and I discovered that it's perfectly playable and still sounds good. A lot of respect for the Guild's Guitar Company being able to construct a guitar that could go through all that and still be a useful instrument. But here's a point. Here's something that I learned. And I do these blues songwriting workshops at Larimer County Jail and Denver Women's Prison, and I've done it at a few other places. That even if there's something missing, there's been damage, we still have a song in us that can come out. So you might be a dream that died. It might be a relationship that you've lost. It might even be, a career that you had. It could be literally part of your physical body that's missing. But there's still a beautiful song in here that can come out and be expressed, just like this guitar having this damage and still being an instrument that can make music and can do what music does: touch people's hearts, make them smile, make them have other emotions depending on what you're doing. And so this is Huckleberry, and I've used Huckleberry to introduce the songwriting workshops, and I'll play you one of the kind of silly songs that came out of Larimer County Jail. I had asked the ladies, how was lunch today? And one of them said, looked like somebody strangled my hot dog. And so we sat down and we wrote the Strangled Hot Dog Blues. Looked like somebody strangled my hot dog. Then they put that thing on my plate. Looked like somebody strangled my hot dog. They put that sad puppy on my plate. Sitting here this afternoon, wonder if I should worry about what I just ate. Somebody put a rock on my tray. Told me that was a piece of bread. That's what they said. Somebody put a rock on my tray, and they told me it was a piece of bread. You know, if we get a food fight going in here, somebody gonna end up dead. All right, Huckleberry. Had to stand in line for 20 minutes and eat my food in less than 10. Stood in line for 20 minutes, ate my food in less than 10. You know what I get out of here? Ain't never gonna eat in that restaurant again. Huckleberry, my special favorite.